Welcome to Epilepsy Foundation Alabama's 50th virtual birthday party. It's January 26th, and the date for tonight's event was chosen to represent the 1 in 26 people that will develop epilepsy at some point in their lives. You all know how passionate I am about warning people about severe thunderstorms, and we're going to focus on raising awareness of how electrical storms in the brain affect more than 54,000 people in Alabama during this virtual event. Tonight we'll focus on cherishing the nonprofit's history in the state, celebrating the milestone anniversary, and highlighting current work the chapter is doing to walk alongside those in Alabama going through their epilepsy journeys. It's going to be a great night of celebration, so you stay with us.
James, thank you so much for being a part of our celebration, and thank you for your support of persons living with the epilepsies. I'm Garland Stansel, the Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama Board Chair and the Chief Communications Officer for Children's of Alabama. My connection to epilepsy really goes back to well before I was born. My mother, as a preteen, fell from a tree and suffered a severe blow to the head. Some months later, in conjunction with going through puberty, she began having seizures. It was in her early 20s when she was finally diagnosed as having epilepsy. So my entire life, I have lived with a person who has had epilepsy. She had many seizures when I was young, those that we at the time called grand mal seizures, or tonic-clonic seizures, and absent seizures, or petit-mal seizures, as they were called at that time. She was put on medication, and I'm happy to say that although she had times that she struggled, about the last 18 to 20 years, she's been virtually seizure-free. I began my work with the Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama really about 20 years ago as a way to give back and to make a difference to other people who are not only suffering with seizures, but also undergoing the psychosocial aspects of living with seizures, such as depression, not being able to drive, and things like that my mother went through. So it's really been a great experience for me to be able to be a part of this, and for the last couple of years to chair the board, really in honor of my mother and giving back. And speaking of the board, I'd like to thank the Community Engagement Board for their work on behalf of persons with epilepsy and our Professional Advisory Board. And thanks to all of you who have been involved for the last 50 years in support of the Epilepsy Foundation. We hope you enjoy our celebration. We thank you again for being with us. And now let's hear from some of our fantastic doctors across the state who are involved in caring for persons with the epilepsies.
I'm Dean Naritoku. I'm chairman of neurology at the University of South Alabama and a longtime provider in the area of epilepsy. Well, the new onset seizures is always a tough thing. Mostly sociologically. There's so much upheaval, there's threat of job loss, there is issues of whether they'll be safe at their work, and many times it's not founded, it's unfounded, and it's a matter of education and letting their work understand it, and their co-workers in particular. I think that what's most difficult is for people to understand that a seizure is something that can be dealt with very readily and very practically.
I'm involved with the Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama because I love supporting an organization that does so much for patients with epilepsy across the state. And as a pediatric neurologist, I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to advocate for and help support both my patients and their families and others with epilepsy on a broader scale.
My name is Kimberly Limbo, and I've been involved with the Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama for the last 14 years. I am involved with the Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama as a child neurologist in North Alabama. It provides an excellent resource and support to my patients and their parents as they are first diagnosed and then live with epilepsy.
My name is Ismail Mohammed, and I have been involved with the Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama for 4 years. I've been involved with the Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama because it's a voice for every person affected with epilepsy, their families, caregivers, as well as healthcare professionals involved in the care of epilepsy.
The Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama does so much for many of my patients with epilepsy, but one thing that I really appreciate is the efforts that they're making with regards to education of the community and schools about epilepsy and epilepsy safety. I'm hopeful that this will both decrease the stigma that still surrounds epilepsy and also improve the safety of patients with epilepsy in the school system and in the community.
Happy 50th birthday, Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama.
Happy 50th birthday, Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama.
Happy 50th birthday, Epilepsy Foundation, Alabama.
Epilepsy Foundation Alabama was originally founded in 1971. Its original name was the Alabama Council on Epilepsy. Dr. Robert Ford was the first doctor that was really involved, followed by Dr. Ed Faught and many others. We've been reaching out to people across the state that have been involved in the past 5 decades, as well as those who have recently gotten involved with the Epilepsy Foundation. We think you'll enjoy hearing from them tonight. Before we do, let's hear some recognition for tonight's event sponsors. Ballard, I'm turning it over to you.
Thank you, Sarah. We're very appreciative of all our sponsors, and we're going to hear from our national feature event sponsor next, Greenwich Biosciences.
Hey everyone, it's Amy Paget with Greenwich Biosciences. As a sponsor of the event today, Greenwich is proud to partner with the Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama to help people stay connected in this virtual environment. We are united in what we are trying to accomplish here today, to raise epilepsy awareness, to have a positive effect on care, on research, and on the lives of those who are impacted by seizures. There are so many families who wake up every day to the reality of epilepsy. There are people listening to this right now who have been fighting against it their entire lives. And there are others who are not able to be with us today. But as a community, we never give up the hope that one day we will overcome the challenges of living with this disease. This is what drives us. You may know us best as a company researching and delivering FDA-approved cannabinoid science medicines, but also know that our focus is you. Patients and families are at the center of everything we do, and we strive to make a positive and meaningful difference in their lives, in your lives. So today and every day, we are proud to be here with you, virtually and in real life. Happy birthday, Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama.
Thank you, Amy. Next up, we'll hear from our feature event sponsor, UCB.
Good evening to all the participants of the Epilepsy Alabama Foundation's 50th anniversary celebration. This not only includes all people living with epilepsy, but to all the families and caregivers who stand by you and support you every day and who are themselves affected by epilepsy. My name is Christy Kohler, and I work for UCB, where we are inspired by patients and driven by science. Every day, one of our priorities is to improve the lives of people living with epilepsy. Together with you, we refuse to let this disease get the best of us. So we continue to wear our purple, creating awareness and education in support of everyone living with epilepsy. The work you do is admirable. UCB continues to partner with organizations like Epilepsy Foundation Alabama, and we are happy to work side by side with this organization and all of you so that together we can overcome epilepsy. When Sarah Franklin asked us to support this incredible milestone for EF Alabama, we were honored. And our support does not end with this conference. At UCB, we strive every day to work for people living with epilepsy through science, education, and advocacy. We recognize you, the courageous fighter, and those that support all of us in sharing your cause. Know that we at UCB are here to support your journey. Thank you.
Thank you as well to our supporter event sponsors, including the United Way of Southwest Alabama, Children's of Alabama, SK Life Science, Norellis, Livanova, Medical Properties Trust, Aquestive, and Franklin's of Birmingham. We can't thank these organizations enough for supporting the Epilepsy Foundation in tonight's event.
My name is Karen Roland. I was executive director of the Epilepsy Foundation from 1990 to 1997. When I became exec, it was the Alabama Council on Epilepsy, and it was located in an old and not particularly welcoming or safe building adjacent to the UAB campus. We had a staff of 3 and primarily did information and referral services and offered support groups. After several months, we moved the office to Homewood and shortly thereafter changed the name to the Epilepsy Foundation of North Central Alabama. The other chapter at the time was located in Mobile and was the Epilepsy Foundation of South Alabama. What I'm most proud of today is raising the profile of the organization. And I did that by getting the first annual state funding through the Alabama legislature. We also created a nationally sponsored fundraiser, the Range Rover Jumper Classic, which was an equestrian show jumping competition that awarded thousands of dollars in cash prizes to competitors from all over the country. We also created a broad-based community board that included more than just parents and individuals with epilepsy, but leaders in corporate and industry throughout North Central Alabama. I was also pleased to serve on the National Leadership Council. I was elected by my peers from affiliates all over the country. We were able to establish a really strong advocacy presence in Montgomery and worked in collaboration and partnership with lots of other disability organizations at the local, state, and national level. I was also able to hire a really good team. And when I left, there were 6 of us, including professional fundraising counsel. Serving as executive director of the Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama gave me a much deeper and broader understanding of the challenges that Alabamians and their families face every day when they have a disability. But it also showed me the tremendous victory that comes from strong advocacy and triumph over those challenges. I'll always have a soft spot for the Epilepsy Foundation and wish you all a very happy 50th birthday.
My name's Frank O'Neill. I served as a board member and as the chairman of what was then the Epilepsy Foundation of North and Central Alabama. I was in graduate school at Birmingham Southern with a young dynamo named Karen Roland, who was the executive director at the time. And Karen really bulldogged a lot of people that she had known from Birmingham Southern and other walks of life and built a tremendous board that had a lot of commitment and desire to really advocate for people afflicted with epilepsy. I'm not sure what drove her passion to become involved initially, but Karen is one of those people that whatever she takes on, she goes at it wholeheartedly, and I think that's what she did when she was executive director. She advocated, she cajoled, she got money wherever she could, and EFNCA made a difference in so many people's lives because the summer camp program was really a mainstay of their outreach to children with epilepsy. And, you know, I think sometimes children are the hardest hit because they may not understand the disease or the treatment or the cause of it in the way that adults do. So I think the camp made a big difference. I think the foundation was also a strong advocate to gain funding from the legislature. We were able to lobby and bring money to the foundation. Never enough, but it was better than no money at all.
We would like to give a grateful, appreciative, loving, supportive shout out to the staff of the Epilepsy Foundation and the Epilepsy 10th floor at Children's Hospital, with a special thank you to Dr. Gore. Dr. Gore, you have changed our life tremendously. Christopher's still smiling. He's still more actively now with his family and his friends. We would like to thank you, Dr. Sewell, for being the first person that we met at children with the epilepsy. We would like to also thank you, Jennifer. Jennifer, you have been so great to us. Whenever I had questions or whenever we needed certain medication, you were on it for us. We really want to say thank you. A special thank you to Raven. Raven, thank you for just being a friend, a shoulder to cry on, somebody that understood what we were going through during that time. Thank you for being patient with us, Raven. You're the greatest, girl. And we also like to give a special shout out to Charlotte, who worked the third shift. Charlotte, you are the bomb, girl, when it comes to keeping people up at night. We love you, girl. Don't you change anything about yourself, Charlotte. We love you all. Y'all are the best.
I would like to give a special thanks to Dr. Gore for giving me my life back. I would like to give a special thanks to Dr. Roselle for making me a candidate for my surgery. And I also would like to thank Jennifer for being around if I needed to ask any questions, because she always had the answer, like always. And I also would like to thank Ray for being one of the first people in Birmingham to hook me up. And I would also like to thank Charlotte for being up with me every night so I could be a candidate for surgery.
I got involved with Epilepsy Foundation Alabama in honor of my 3-year-old son, Ozzy. Ozzy was diagnosed with epilepsy at the age of 5 months, and he's been battling epilepsy every single day since then. So I wanted to get involved with this organization in order to share our story, to help educate others that have been newly diagnosed, and to raise awareness in our community and help the over 54,000 Alabamians living with epilepsy.
Hi, my name is Gina Dalton, and I was a board member for the Epilepsy Foundation around 2014. One of my most favorite memories from the Epilepsy Foundation was when we put a Christmas tree on the Tinsel Trail in downtown Huntsville.
Some of our favorite things being involved with the Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama have been...
Speak Up, Speak Out was really awesome. I enjoyed meeting all of the elected officials at the time, and also seeing how other people who have been diagnosed with epilepsy tried to cope with it, whether it was medications, diets, whatever it may be. Not every diagnosis or form was the same for everybody. So that was really interesting. Another thing was I got to ride the Ferris wheel in Gulf Shores.
Orange Beach. To be the first person to ride the Ferris wheel in Orange Beach at the wharf when it opened. God, that's been many moons ago.
It was.
Let's see. Talk about the differences the foundation has made in your life and the lives other people in your lives.
I think the foundation's really helped my family learn about my diagnosis because I did have such a normal childhood. They learned not to fear it when I did have a seizure around them. And it's really helped me, I think, be the person I am today. Like, I strive for more than just what's expected of me.
Hey y'all, this is Tometta Cozart, and I'm the Multicultural Outreach and Health Equity Director for the Epilepsy Foundation of America. I first learned about epilepsy and its disparities among racial and ethnic populations while teaching as a doctoral candidate at the University of Alabama. That is where I actually had one of my students have an absent seizure, and she nor I knew what was happening to her. Her having a lack of awareness and having a lack of education around epilepsy and seizures, and me having worked in public health for 10 years, made me want to learn more about how I can be able to support individuals who may not have a voice and may not understand exactly what is going on with their epilepsy journey. Thankfully, she was able to get a diagnosis and be able to be joined by a wonderful care team, and she's managing her seizures and having a beautiful life. But that journey allowed me to want to be able to be a part of the Epilepsy Foundation. And since joining the foundation, I have been able to train more individuals that are in public health and other professions in seizure first aid. I've also been able to increase awareness of epilepsy among multicultural populations. And I've been able to open the door for allow more individuals who did not feel as connected with the foundation to be able to share their voice. I'm hoping that others will join us in creating a seizure-safe nation. Happy birthday, Epilepsy, Alabama, and thank you for allowing me to start my journey there.
Hey guys, my name is Reese Dismukes, and I've been working with the Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama for about 3 years now. It's been awesome. I support the Epilepsy Foundation because of my little brother Harry. He's got epilepsy, and it's been tough to control throughout his life. And being fortunate enough, I was able to play football at Auburn University, and through that, it gave myself a platform. I'm trying to use that to bring people together for a great cause. And what's better than something that has affected myself and my family very much, as well as others in our state. And we try to do whatever we can to help. And the Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama has been a great resource for us to do that.
Right. Working at Children's Hospital, I'm inspired a lot by parents and kids and how brave they are. And it's working with the Epilepsy Foundation, I get to see kids in a different light. And my friend Shirley Smith was she had the EEG department at Children's, and Pam Parks was over our epilepsy monitoring unit. And so I just remember going to a walk, and it was just so much fun to see kids outside of the hospital. And Pam and I would laugh about, like, we hardly know them when they don't have their head wrap on. And it was just a lot of fun to see kids that maybe they had had surgery, and so you see them in a whole different light outside of Children's. And I don't think I would have had that opportunity if I wasn't a part of the Epilepsy Foundation.
My name is Judy Evans, and I have been part of the Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama a little over 11 years. My daughter Marilyn, who is 23, has had epilepsy most of her life. We joined the support group for epilepsy of the greater Birmingham area when it started, when Marilyn was 12. It was the one place she said she felt normal. And even though I have lots of friends and family who empathize with us and love us, they were very excited when we joined the support group, because there were actually people who understood how it was to have a child who had epilepsy, which they couldn't do.
My name is Louisa Jeffries. I've participated in the Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama walks for the last 4 years and have become more involved in the foundation this past year. My husband Tom and I are involved with Epilepsy Foundation Alabama because 2 of our 3 daughters have been diagnosed with epilepsy. The Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama has been an amazing resource for our family. The executive director, Sarah Franklin, and her office are constantly offering opportunities to learn more and connect with others, and they do everything they can to make it easy to get involved. One thing that's been so meaningful for my 10-year-old twins is being involved in the kids' crew. Eva and Ann love the fun activities and have been inspired to earn their kids' crew pins for things like educating others, creating awareness, advocating for change, and participating in the Lemonade for Livy fundraiser. The Epilepsy Foundation is very important to our family. From influencing public policy to creating local opportunities and connections, they do amazing, important work. We're incredibly thankful for all they do.
The Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama has meant so much to me. In 1986, I lost my brother Mark to an epileptic seizure. Ever since that time, I've been dedicated to trying to help people with epilepsy and dealing with it on many different levels and in different ways. And that's what the foundation has done. And I could not be happier or prouder to be a part of it.
My name is Reed, and I've been involved with the Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama for a little over a year. I'm involved with the Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama because epilepsy can be an invisible illness, and I want to help erase the stigma around this diagnosis and promote understanding of it. This past year, the Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama gave me the opportunity to participate in Teen Speak Up, which is part of the Epilepsy Foundation's Public Policy Institute. This innovative advocacy initiative brings students from around the U.S. to Washington, D.C. to receive training in epilepsy advocacy and share our stories with members of Congress. This was an amazing experience. The Epilepsy Foundation makes life better in so many meaningful ways for people affected by epilepsy. I'm so thankful for all the work that they do.
Some of my favorite memories involved with the Epilepsy Foundation are the walks to end epilepsy and just really meeting all the people in Alabama that also have epilepsy.
Mine is probably all the times I went to Washington and made friends with people like me and meeting state people.
Some of my favorite memories of being involved with the Epilepsy Foundation are the virtual walks and seeing everybody dress up and everybody online having a really good time and making the best of 2020.
Hello, my name is Kevin Archer. I've been involved with the Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama for 25-30 years. Back when I was in high school looking to attend college, the Epilepsy Foundation offered me a scholarship that was transformational for me. Most recently, I took my family down to Railroad Park for the Epilepsy Walk, and I got to see so many people come together in fellowship and celebration and community, who are from all different walks of life, all ages, all nationalities, all ethnic backgrounds. And it was exciting, because all of these people were challenged with the same kind of disease that I was challenged with. Most recently, my niece came down with epilepsy, that drugs cannot control her seizures. So more than ever, we need the Epilepsy Foundation as they seek to help us educate, as they seek to help us bring us together, as they help seek out a cure. I'd like to thank Sarah and Ballard and their team and all the volunteers and all those who are impacted by the disease.
Since being a part of the Epilepsy Foundation, we have been invited to 2 special events that we will treasure for the rest of our life. Our first event that we attended was the reunion for epilepsy patients. That was great. That was a joy to see other families, other patients, other teens, and young kids that was going through the same battle of epilepsy. It gave me a great understanding that we was not the parents alone that was dealing with this. It's hard to deal with epilepsy, just epilepsy alone, and having your child knowing that you can't do anything to correct the problem for them. To see other parents that was having the same situation as you did.
Going to the very first reunion made me realize that I wasn't the only person that was dealing with this disability. I was able to meet other people that was going through the same thing as me, and we was able to share our backstory so we could be able to get an understanding of one another and then get along with each other. That was very nice.
The second event that we was able to attend, we was invited to attend the proclamation to end epilepsy here in Montgomery, Alabama. That is a memory that we will always treasure. It was a joy to be a part of that team in receiving the proclamation to help end epilepsy here in Montgomery, Alabama.
Receiving the proclamation meant a lot to me, and it even meant a lot to me when my family and my friends was there to support me. And it was really nice, and that was an achievement in life that I really can always remember.
The Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama has made such a huge difference in our lives. Caroline has epilepsy, and they have just been a great support group and have really helped us and been there for moral support, for help when Caroline needed it at school, when they did not want to change the lighting so that she could attend a dance because the flashing lighting that goes along with the music that they were planning to use could cause her to have a seizure. The Epilepsy Foundation jumped right in and were able to help and get the lawyers to send in letters to the school to help them realize that, yes, it was important to change the lighting at the school, even if it was just for one student. That made a world of difference to us. It made a world of difference to Caroline. And it's just important to how they act and how they just jump in quickly, and how they were just able to help us and just be there for everything that we need. Whether it be signing up for scholarships for college. Caroline was able to get a scholarship with the help of the Epilepsy Foundation. And they've just been so helpful and so supportive with everything that we needed. Getting help for paying for medications that can be expensive. And just putting us in touch with other resources. I don't know where we would be without the Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama.
Hi, my name is Kennedy Witcher, and I've been a part of the Epilepsy Foundation for 4 years now. Some of my favorite memories about being a part of this foundation were the 2 chances that I got to go to Washington, D.C. Once I went for the Teen Speak Up convention where I had the opportunity to speak with Congress about funding for epilepsy. Another time I got to go, I spoke to the FDA about personal questions that I had. This foundation has given me friends and opportunities that I never would have had, and I'm very thankful for that. It showed me that I'm not alone in this walk and that others are willing to walk through it with me. Happy 50th birthday, Epilepsy Foundation, Alabama.
Hi everyone, my name is Emily Hornack and I work for Children's of Alabama. Over my shoulder you'll see the Help End Epilepsy car tag on display. We need 400 more people before March the 31st for the tag to go into production. We encourage everyone to please go sign up and be part of the pre-commitment phase at www.epilepsyalabama.org/tags. That's where you can sign up and be part of this incredible movement of 1,000 people who want the Help End Epilepsy car tag. And it's also my pleasure to say happy 50th birthday, Epilepsy Foundation, Alabama. Here's to a great year.
Thank you, Emily. We are so excited about the Help End Epilepsy license plate. When participating in tonight's events and our other events throughout the year, you are supporting Epilepsy Foundation Alabama's efforts, which include seizure first aid trainings and certifications, school personnel and school nurse seizure first aid trainings, research, our 24/7 Epilepsy Foundation hotline, our Suit Up Institute, our COVID-19 and Epilepsy Education Program, our Teen Speak Up and Public Policy Institute, state legislation efforts surrounding seizure-safe schools, information and referral services, summer camp scholarships for people with epilepsy, educational conferences, and more. Whether you live in South Alabama, Central Alabama, or North Alabama, anywhere in the state of Alabama, we are here for you. Thank you again for tuning in tonight, and be sure to watch our website and social media channels for other ways you can get involved this year. If you haven't become Seizure First Aid certified yet, sign up to take the free course at epilepsy.com/firstaid. Our next big event will also be a virtual advocacy day focused on seizure-safe schools, so look for that announcement coming soon. There's still an opportunity for you to give tonight as you watch this live stream, or if you're watching the replay, by giving at epilepsy.com/donate, and we appreciate your generosity so much.
Happy birthday,
Epilepsy,
Alabama.
As we get close to wrapping up tonight's live stream, I want to encourage you, please keep sending photos, memories, and more that you recall from the past 50 years of Epilepsy Foundation Alabama. We'll be celebrating all year long on social media, and we can't wait to share more memories throughout the year.
Thank you for tuning in tonight. Remember, Epilepsy Foundation Alabama is here to support each of you as you walk through your journeys with seizures and epilepsy. Happy 50th anniversary, Epilepsy Foundation Alabama.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, so on three, say happy birthday, Epilepsy Foundation. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday, Epilepsy Foundation Alabama.
Okay. All right, let's just try happy birthday. Oh, trial and error. Again, virtual is a whole new world. All right, so let's just try happy birthday only, okay?
Happy 50th birthday, Epilepsy Foundation Alabama.
Happy birthday to the Epilepsy Foundation. You've made an enormous difference in people's lives over the past 50 years.
Happy birthday,
Happy 50th birthday
Epilepsy Foundation
of Alabama.
Happy 50th birthday, Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama.
Happy 50th birthday, Epilepsy Foundation Alabama.
So happy 50th birthday, Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama.
Happy 50th birthday, Epilepsy Foundation Alabama.
Happy 50th birthday, Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama.
Happy 50th birthday, Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama. And rest in peace, Caroline Foster. Love you.
Birthday, Epilepsy Foundation.
Happy 50th birthday, Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama.
Or happy 50th birthday, Epilepsy Foundation of Alabama. I'm looking forward to the next 50.